You're welcome back to another episode of the Friends and Family Show, always live on Channel 1 TV. We're coming to you from our studios here, number 5 Old Anson Lane in Tesano. My name is Noyo Kwote. Welcome to the show. Well, this particular topic, what we're talking about today, I bet that at some point in your life you go like, whew, I wish I knew what I knew then or now then. That's because we're going back down memory lane and what I wish I knew in my 20s. Well, we had this conversation last week, and you've been blowing up our phones for part 2. Now, here's what. Ta-da! It's time for us to go through it. We're having this conversation with the same amazing guest, yes. And we're going to have very, very interesting conversations. Now, here's what. I'd want for you to be a part of it. So send me a message via WhatsApp on the number 020-444-7033. And don't forget to add your name and location. My name is Noyo Kwote, your pretty host. Yeah. Well, find me on Instagram at na_oyo_Kwote. And when you find me, don't forget to hit the like and the follow button. One more time, you're very welcome to the Friends and Family Show. I'll take a breather. I'll be right back.
Hey Ghana, so you people know Miss Brother Man Small. If you knew, it's your boy. Kill them all, kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, I am killing the greats. See? This wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Coil. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya boa, faha.
When the stars come out, Ghana Weekend turns up the lights. From the hottest red carpet moments to the wildest after parties. And for all your celebrations, anniversaries, and unforgettable moments, if it's happening, we are there. First, fast, and fabulously. Your front row pass to Ghana's A-list lifestyle is just a click or a channel away. GhanaWeekend.com and Ghana Weekend TV, where fame meets the fans. Promote your next big event with us, because when you party with the stars, the whole nation of black stars should know. Visit GhanaWeekend.com, watch and subscribe to Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube. Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle at GhanaWeekend.com, on X at Ghana Weekend, on TikTok, Ghana Weekend, and on Facebook at Ghana Weekend. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, all access, all glam, all yours.
In a world filled with challenges, we all need guidance, hope, and a lifeline to anchor us.
This is Lifeline, and I'm your host, Fred Crunchy Mensa.
From social issues, relationship challenges, and family matters, Lifeline is here to inspire, uplift, and guide you on your journey.
Where we give you support, where we hold your hand through the valley and through the thick and things of life.
Join Bishop Fred Crunchy Mensa.
I welcome you especially to Lifeline.
Every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on Channel 1 TV. Let's walk this path together, strengthen our faith, our families, and our lives. Lifeline, because every soul deserves a guiding light. Tune in to Lifeline on Channel 1 TV and let's grow together. Curious about what's happening beyond your borders? Beyond Borders takes you there. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m., join Caleb Kuda as he explores the stories that shape our world, connecting you with Ghanaians in other cultures and seeing the world through their eyes.
So we've learned one thing: you leave your shoes outside.
Wow.
Tuesdays.
I won't go to Ghana dressed in a Lacoste. I would as director of operations.
From international politics to the human stories that define nations, Beyond Borders brings you a fresh perspective of Ghanaians around the world, one conversation at a time. Beyond Borders with Killer Kuda airs Wednesdays at 7 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
All right, you're welcome back to the Friends and Family Show live on Channel 1 TV. My name is Noyo Kwote, and we're back to talk about what I wish I knew in my 20s. I've got the same very lovely guest like the others, and so listen, this is a part 2. That's because you've been yearning for part 2, and it's in line for us to get into this conversation again. So in my studio, and all guests are not new, because of course, it's a part 2. I have John Michael. You're very welcome. Who is a social worker and development consultant.
Yep.
How are you feeling?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Today, that's a open, so you're prepping proper beef that.
My shadow be some.
And I said, we do money in how? But then we are waiting patiently for Kojo. We can't do without Kojo Vaness. He has to bring some kind of annoyance into this conversation. So we're waiting for you, Kojo. When he gets here, he'll definitely get on the show. And then right next to him, I have Dr. Demi Prisla-Lecha. She's sistering, I like women in locks as well. It's like we're twinning. Who is a global health professional and an author as well.
Yes.
You're welcome, darling.
Thank you.
And then this portfolio, if I say anyway, Jeremiah Boabing, no, give me some dare to be vibe. What's when you intro you people, you do something.
Yes,
new era.
Meanings are intro.
Meanings are intro. What's your?
Yes, sure.
Hey. Anyway, so he's an entrepreneur, conference speaker, and a consultant. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
So you didn't bring the book.
Thank you. It'll come.
Hey.
It'll come.
You have to bring the book.
It'll come.
We're waiting for it. All right, so you look lovely tonight. We're getting to talk about what I wish I knew in my 20s. Like I was saying the other time, financial, my problem. If I knew how to save small for rainy day, anytime my mom would say, I say, well, because I have a raincoat, it's fine, I have an umbrella, it's all right. Because I didn't understand. If I had started saving, look, I can buy some cheaper Bugatti. But again, they say fried rice money, you can't buy Benz. So it's all right. We're going to go back to talk about all the things that we wish. Like now you sit down and say, if I knew what I know now back then, I should have done this way or should have done it that way. Okay? So you're welcome. Send your conversation, send your contributions via WhatsApp on the number 020-444-7033. Always remember to add your name, right, darling? Because I would love to address you properly. Now here's what. I'm going to start off with this first question. Well, anyone can take it. Okay? And back then in your 20s, were you chasing passion or you were just in survival mode? Like when it comes to work or what you had to do for yourself? Were you chasing, right now people say, I'm into radio and I'm into TV. So it's like, oh, that's my passion. So you follow the passion even when it's not really bringing anything. Or back then you're in survival mode, anything that's going to put food on the table or give you some money. Where would you fall?
I feel like early days, it was purely about the money.
Right.
It was about, okay, so we're fresh out of school. Everybody's trying to get money. Everybody's trying to keep up appearances. And so I had my whole background of working with AXA Insurance in England. So I used to be in England. AXA Insurance, working in Halifax Properties, in Lloyd's, then moving on to social work, which is where I found my passion. Right. But then I went through a process where originally all I wanted to do was make money. I lived in England, I lived in central London in Zone 1, and that was comfortable for me, but mostly because I worked in central London. But beyond that, even when I was working, I found that I was more drawn into working with young people, which is what I was most passionate about. So eventually I got back into school to do youth work and interestingly ministry. Yeah, I got into youth work and ministry, another long story, but then I found my passion through my work with young people, which is how I ended up working with young people full time.
So you started off with finding the mullah, and then now the passion just held you. So
Yes.
it's still whether the mullah is coming or not, but then your passion is there.
I guess at the point where I found passion, the money
made
didn't
some-
matter to me anymore
Right.
because it was what I could have done even if I wasn't being paid. And when I was being paid so much less than what I was making when I was working corporate. And so in my head, I just got to that point where I couldn't be bothered anymore.
Because
and
you loved
so,
what you were doing.
Yeah, so I keep saying that money doesn't motivate me anymore.
Nice. Hey, that's strong, oh. Money, it doesn't motivate you anymore. Good.
It's only money.
It doesn't motivate you.
It's only money.
Hey, that's serious, oh.
I
So
know, right?
yeah, because so when I do the gigs like this,
So
whether the money.
it's hard to corrupt me.
Okay, that's
Yeah, it's
okay.
very hard
I
to corrupt
take it
me
from that
because
angle.
it's only money.
Yeah. Nice. Dutch?
Interesting. Hi. So I would say, well, I spent a lot of my 20s in school, obviously, but I still enjoyed what I did. So, of course, breaks in between a bachelor's, then you work a little bit, then a master's work, and then I continued through to a PhD, which I did not get until almost 40, yes. But I enjoyed the path, although it was difficult. I think I've been on one course, professionally anyway, in sciences, in public health, in global health. I've just been on that trajectory. And I am still passionate about it. One side passion, which is very important to me, as you said in my intro, was writing, creative writing. And that I did not do until this 45th year of mine. Yes, and I just launched my debut novel. So things that I had been sitting on so the idea, indeed, I had been sitting on it for 15 years, and then finally during COVID I got to writing, and then finally launched it. So I would say, yes, I pursued the traditional trajectory. You go to school, you get married, you have kids, you build a career, you climb the corporate ladder and all of those things, which I did. But also I think I had put one of my passions on the back burner for a little bit. So I would say a little bit of both. But I'm happy I finally got it going, because I was like, either now or never.
Yeah.
So for anybody watching who happens to be now in their 20s, then I would say that yes, the traditional course may work for you, which it did, but I dare say many younger people are not really inclined to go the traditional route. And if that does not work for you, certainly explore your passion. But being here as a serial entrepreneur, so I'm sure he'll give people all of that. But we come from corporate life in the corporate world, but a little bit of both. I think a balance would help, because not always that pursuing your passion will actually pay the bills, and the bills have to be paid at a point. You have to be able to be financially stable, even though you're pursuing your passion. And I realize that a lot of young people are like all about the passion. They're gung-ho on it, and it may not be bringing money, but they're like, oh, I'm just gonna hit it big one time, which is all well and good. But also make sure that you have something to fall back on in terms of your finances.
Now that's a good advice. That's really great advice. Thank you.
Well, so I got to follow passion early. I think that I'm one of the very few people who was blessed to find my calling, my gifts, my passions really, really early. By the time I was 20, I had a fair idea the kind of life I wanted to live and what I believe God had called me for. But like I said last week, I mixed out on the monetization cash bit. So people have to be intentional about learning how to monetize their passions. That is one angle. That which I enjoy doing. How do I make money from it? It does not always manifest automatically. It must be deliberately strategized. You must be intentional about making money from the thing that you enjoy.
Right.
Then there's another part that people don't consider often. That sometimes in pursuing that which you enjoy, your passion, You can be doing something that you don't enjoy, but you make money from to survive. That can also happen. So you have sort of a bi-directional career where you're doing what you love to do. It may not be making money for you now or even ever at all, but you're doing something else that makes you money. Because you see, a career can be a composite of things. Things you do that make you money. Things you do that give you fulfillment. Things that you do that you believe is your calling or your ministry. So you can have a composite of these things. The one that you do that makes you money, whilst you do that which you enjoy. So you can create that balance. Especially in the beginning when you start pursuing a passion and it's not making you money. You need to be able to survive. You need to be able to pay your bills, feed yourself and all of that. So you can be doing that which is earning you money whilst juggling that which you really enjoy, in the hope that as you work on it and you strategize, you can make money from it eventually.
So which do you pay much more attention to? The one that's not bringing money or the one that's your passion?
These things are not cast in stone. So sometimes every season, it can be a matter of a season, that in this season, you need to be able to pour yourself into that which makes you money. So I had a conversation with a very senior corporate executive who was telling me about how along the line in her career, she felt a call to go into prison ministry. So she stopped all her corporate stuff and went to prison ministry. And she did it for a while. And along the line, she realized that she needed money to feed the prison ministry. And she came back to corporate, became CEO of a few organizations, made money, and is now able to pour the money that she makes from her corporate career into her prison ministry. So these things are not cast in stone. What everybody must be sensitive to, and maybe I may come up as overly spiritual, is for you to try and understand what God wants you to do at every season of your life. I tell people that I've hustled. I've had nearly a 20-year career, as young as I am. But I am wary of doing things that God hasn't called me to do. Other than that, you spend a lot of your time, your energy, and money doing stuff that you had no business doing. So you always have to be finding out, what does God want me to do? What direction should I go? What will bring me the biggest return on investment? Because there's this thing about life, some things look lucrative for other people, but you go into it and make no money.
You won't. So,
some way, somehow, it's possible that in life, everybody and the anointing that they are carrying, the grace that they are carrying, there are some people in certain areas, they prosper with that hustle. And other people will hustle in that area and not prosper. So you always have to be sensitive about, what have I been gifted for? What have I been graced for? What is my anointing in? And focus your energy and your time in that area. It's not about doing many things. It's about doing the thing which you've been called to do.
That one thing. Right. Okay.
I would also add that you may not always find out what you're passionate about until later through some growth, life events and so forth. Things such as if you have a good singing voice that you can easily identify early, so there are some that are more obvious and some that are less obvious and are born out of life experiences, if you will. So sometimes it might just take some time, and I feel like people rush it a bit in trying to find what their passion actually is. Sometimes give it some time, live life. Enjoy life as it is. You will come to find it if it's unclear, similar to what Barbie was saying. Yeah.
You want to say something?
So, what I want to add to that is also that in my line of work, I interact a lot with young people, and I find a lot of the young people like to rush into things, and then they listen to all this talk and they feel this is what I want to do. And I keep asking, especially when they want to start a business, that okay, so you want to leave work and start a business. What's it going to cost you to start the business? How much have you saved to put into that business? Because half the time they're thinking of starting the business and they're coming to you and they're asking, can you give me seed money or can you give me money? And the question is, why don't you believe in it enough to save to put into the business? So there are times when you may have to do what you're not passionate about because it raises you the means to put into what you are passionate about. But till you understand those dynamics, you'd find that people jump and then they realize, oh my God, like there's nothing to do. I don't have the means to achieve it. And sometimes it's not just about starting, it's about starting and sustaining it. And so whether you are prepared enough to take the jump is another conversation on its
Right.
own.
Like
I think
entrepreneurship.
I, I'm excited about it by the thoughts that Dr. Debbie and John have both shared, because it reminds me of myself. When I was coming up, I've always been driven by ambition, and I was always in a hurry. But having tried to build a career for nearly 2 decades, I've realized that stamina is more important than speed. For a lot of us young people, we're in a hurry. We are in a lot of hurry, and we are excited about the future that we have envisioned in our minds and want to get there quickly. But I've come to see that life is not a 100-meter dash. Life is a marathon. So stamina is more important than speed. I mean, I love what John says about young people wanting to build a business, and they want somebody else to invest in the business rather than they invest in themselves. Just a couple of days ago, I was at Ashesi University to do a guest lecture. And the young students was talking about how he's in a hurry to start a business and does not have the time to work and make the money. And I'm saying that you, the person who wants to do the business, you must put your money where your mouth is. And if you want to start a business for which you cannot raise any amount of capital yourself to do, it just means you're not ready. The chances that if a young person starts a business without any experience, they will blow the money is very high. That's why banks don't invest money in startups.
Right.
A startup that is governed by a young person who doesn't have adequate business experience is very likely to blow the money.
Yeah.
So let's take our time. I know that it sounds great when we say things like, oh, I started a business right from school and I didn't work for anybody. I say that and it sounds nice. But the learning curve is very long. If you decide to go and start a business right from school without taking your time to learn the ropes of the business and gather some experience and understand how the world of work is, you're going to spend a lot of time learning. It means that I had to teach myself how to write proposals, how to write letters, how to develop plans, how to write reports. Almost everything I do in business, I taught myself.
Even an invoice.
Exactly.
And Jeremiah, that is even one part of it. It's also the thing that other people miss out, that working for people teaches you things like accountability, like punctuality, like how people work at the bottom. Because if you have worked at the bottom, and when you start your business, you understand what goes into it, so it's easy to manage your business.
Right.
So all of us have to keep our passion in check. That is great that you want to do this, but take your time. Mark yourself. Jesus Christ teaches a very important principle. He spends 30 years preparing for a 2-year ministry. So your ambition can be too big that you don't want to take your time and prepare yourself and develop yourself for it.
Right. I say I am serious, kakra. I said that show I become serious, kakra. But Doc actually mentioned something about probably you realize that you have a good singing voice and all of that. Brother, if you sing in a bathroom and your family members tell you that, oh, you have a nice voice, no means say go release demo. We don't go buy it. My guy, we not buy it. So wait small. Be singing small. Let us endorse you. I beg you. Okay, so if you release the demo, so relax and take your time and let's see, find that true passion. That's what I mean. Find that the fact that she sings small in the bathroom, it sounds some way, doesn't mean that's why you're say, hey, you're not says, which part of you are sorry.
There are times when you see a video clip on TV, then you ask yourself, does he not have friends?
Thank you. You know, friends is fine. Family members. It's like he lives with ghosts. Anyway, we'll take a quick break. When we're back, we're still on the Friends and Family Show.
Where politics meets power, where the tough questions are asked. Welcome to Face to Face. Every Tuesday at 9 p.m., join Umaru Sanda Amadu as he takes you face to face with the key players shaping the future of our nation.
I lost over $10 million at the trade fair.
You had a fight with the management of trade fair?
I don't have a fight with them. I just deplore the way they went about what they did.
Let's talk about the chief prosecutor of the state at the time that you were being prosecuted, Godfrey Yeboah-Dame, the Attorney General.
Yes. I think he was directed to jail us.
By who?
by the system.
Boku has been a failure for your government, though.
Can't be a failure.
You have not solved it.
No, you are not praising them, the previous government for solving Yendi, which was even a more difficult case.
It's quite obvious that from these votes, the people felt that let's just let you go.
So they were disappointed in us.
You
are essentially the worst government in the Fourth Republic.
I don't know how you are doing that. If you based on the indicators.
Yes, based on the number of people who refuse to come and vote for you.
If that is your analysis, then why not?
No filter, no boundaries, just the truth behind the headlines. Deep, bold, and unflinching. Face to Face with Umaru Sanda Amadou airs on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV, where politics gets real.
When the stars come out, Ghana Weekend turns up the lights. From the hottest red carpet moments to the wildest after parties. And for all your celebrations, anniversaries, and unforgettable moments, if it's happening, we are there. First, fast, and fabulously. Your front row pass to Ghana's A-list lifestyle is just a click or a channel away. GhanaWeekend.com and Ghana Weekend TV, where fame meets the fans. Promote your next big event with us, because when you party with the stars, the whole nation of Black Stars should know. Visit GhanaWeekend.com, watch and subscribe to Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube. Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle at GhanaWeekend.com, on X at Ghana Weekend, on TikTok, Ghana Weekend, and on Facebook at Ghana Weekend. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, all access, all gone, all yours.
In a world filled with challenges, we all need guidance, hope, and a lifeline to anchor us.
This is Lifeline, and I'm your host, Fred Crunchy Mensa.
From social issues, relationship challenges, and family matters, Lifeline is here to inspire, uplift, and guide you on your journey.
Where we give you support, where we hold your hand through the valley and through the thick and things of life.
Join Bishop Fred Crunchy Mensa.
I welcome you especially to Lifeline.
Every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on Channel 1 TV. Let's walk this path together, strengthen our faith, our families, and our lives. Lifeline, because every soul deserves a guiding light. Tune in to Lifeline on Channel 1 TV and let's grow together. Curious about what's happening beyond your borders? Beyond Borders takes you there. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m., join Caleb Kuda as he explores the stories that shape our world, connecting you with Ghanaians in other cultures and seeing the world through their eyes.
So you've learned one thing, you leave your shoes outside. Wow.
Tuesday, I will go to Ghana dressed in a lacrosse.
As director of operations.
From international politics to the human stories that define nations, Beyond Borders brings you a fresh perspective of Ghanaians around the world, one conversation at a time. Beyond Borders with Caleb Kuda airs Wednesdays at 7 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
All right, welcome back to the Friends and Family Show, always live on Channel 1 TV. My name is Noyo Kwarti. Now, my set is full. Yeah, it's not complete. We have that final guest I will be waiting for to come and cause the bus boost. He is here. His name is Kojo Vanette. You're welcome, Kojo.
Yeah, thank you now.
How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great.
But what, you actually...
Yeah, white and
did you share the memo?
Well, my school I attended Accra Academy.
You wear white and blue.
On Sundays, we wear white and blue for
Sunday.
church service.
What about you?
You see the sea sometimes it looks white sometimes. So
Right, so white
I
and
read
blue.
the sea across from my
It's good
school.
you're sitting together.
You're doing white and blue.
Yeah.
If you get the torso picture,
yeah.
that's
I
white
got the
and
memo
blue,
as
yeah,
well.
so that's good.
The old ones.
What
Oh, yeah,
happens
there's
is-
some blue. This is
Small
sea
blue,
blue.
some sea blue.
Me, I make
yeah.
one red.
All right, welcome. We're talking about what I wish I knew in my 20s, like we did last week.
Right.
Because people are actually yearning for part 2. So we're on it. But yakasa sam asana woba.
Then I'm okay.
Yeah, kai bebre. Ni say bi mo kra. Omu ni Thailand no.
Hey,
One Thailand no. Omu ni.
That's
Some
the
papa
way.
beka say utunyum papa.
That's the way.
Then you go and sing and release demo and will not buy. They say, oh, Ghana people, you don't like pushing your country song. You see me was
I remember when I think it was it the mid or early 90s, Radio Gold, BB Menson's Night Train. And there was one time they were playing new songs, and then there was this guys group one by their hip life song, Brahma Bre. I'm like, yo,
but it'll be reality. It'll be very related to me because Brian
let me say, are you okay? You know, people need to understand that they are contributors to creativity. There are people who are good at writing lyrics. If that's what you're good at, stick to it. If there are those who don't know how to write the lyrics, but they can sing the song. There are those who don't know how to sing.
On Canyon said,
You understand? I mean, I know a couple of studio backing vocalists who are very good. People speak and convince them to think they can release albums. They go do 1 or 2 songs and like beyond their area.
Yeah.
Like it's that bad.
Right.
But when they are backing people and it's you know, so and I think I heard one of us say that we should learn how to tell people the truth.
It's true.
That's our culture, no. As a kind of crash will be a usro. Oh.
Enemy of
You
progress.
need to tell yourself
Enemy of
to
progress. I can't say it's like that.
You know what's interesting?
Now the good one, and change all the problem. You understand?
What's interesting when he relates it to creative artists? Take the group that I feel was one of the best boy bands in Ghana was Praye.
Right. Yeah.
Since they split up, they all perform independently,
and then
it doesn't have the magic that Praye had together. So even though together they are outstanding, but individually, when you listen to each of their songs, it's still missing
some
that
kind of vibe.
Praye vibe. And
people. I mean, you can have a group. Everybody can tell that there's one person in the group, Onsheda Antoshe, but he's the life of the group.
Yeah.
When you feel like Onsheda, you know, Unifima. I mean,
Like
the Praye you mentioned, but there's one person when you take out.
I know.
You know,
this is the magic.
He's the vibe.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's it. So I mean, we should learn to tell people the truth.
Anyway,
The earlier the better.
we're going down memory lane still, back in our 20s, and I'm about to talk about relationships and love. Yeah. What's the
Me number last into my kind of first.
Eddie?
Can say we're a comedian.
Man, pass out.
What's summarizing?
You did summarize.
Yes, exactly.
No.
Everybody best me witness.
Man, can
It's a whole bag no.
Man, casa, me so no dey talk about but man casa.
And so
you know, the lady I thought I was going to get married to was the person I never got married to. Like Otsema Kuma. You know, and this was somebody we had Akuma me share any piece. Me marry no 5 lives. So I mean we had dated for I think 7 years. So my advising group was bro. And 3 credits in and I mean we had gotten to a point families knew each other. We had actually even gone to see the place when we get married. We're going to live like Bibia said. So we're just supposed to get January was supposed to go do knocking and blah blah blah. Then December, 31st night December, after all night service, you drive a coffee, then you know, Chalikojo, you know what? I'm not feeling this. I'm like, can you wake up after 7 years and just not feel?
What do you think? It's just cold feet.
Feet bang.
Cold feet.
But you man will have that's all going on. But you man some parts of her.
That's what I'm about. Maybe where she is now, is she better off or not?
Well, I mean, she's
fast forward.
she's married. She's married.
But let's focus on him. How did it turn out for you?
For me, it took it had a heavy toll on me.
Wow.
Like a heavy toll. At a point, if I'm coming from a distance, you can me tip and I be able to see say, and you not be like me phone here. The only time I didn't sit on the wall. Someone's walking. And
was there any sign? Did you expect this to happen?
No,
was it a shock to you?
no.
So it was based on I'm not feeling it. Did she give any concrete
reason?
Nothing.
Oh.
After today, we'll be
so no talking be had to change him, nothing. No
but you see,
closure.
what he was experiencing, I had just say broken heart. And you broken heart too, a broken mind. You see, there's a clear distinction.
Okay,
Wakumano, your heart is tangible. On say, Bubu, when you bring out the blue family, but your mind is not tangible. When it breaks, how to piece it together is something else. So be jao. Now peso kunhu, peso didi. What's on mana kasa? And yeah, Wakuma nebu, watching you. What you understand?
No, I mean, when we say broken heart, I mean it's literal.
Yeah.
Not to say the heart, the function that pumps the blood.
It is your mind that's broken.
Yes.
Like I was down
The
to.
action is abnormal.
I'm curious to know. So, with the benefit of
Is
hindsight,
it who sniff me?
You ask a question. Wants to know, please.
with the benefit of hindsight, what do you think? Was it a good decision?
Oh, I think my wife. I mean, he knows my wife. My wife is the best thing next to my mother.
That's what I wanted.
But the other girl found out you went to Accra and decided.
She went to St. Mary, so that
So she knew. She knew the reason. The rest of your life.
Please, are you sure you didn't do something? Maybe some in year 3 or year 4?
Yes.
That you never
Because
said
7 is too long for her to all of a sudden
She
say that.
found out you went to Accra. That is all.
That's all. Papa did not check a crown.
That's what
7 years.
Maybe now, or maybe one day if he obituary and I tribute and I be over through the reason why. But now I don't know. But we are cool. I said last week that I don't bend bridges.
Right.
I mean, I still stay in touch. We talk. The work in a corporate environment. I consult for her husband and herself. Their business.
Wow.
For me, I'm cool. I've moved on.
But we be signed up for closure.
Yeah, so never.
That's why.
Brackets. Yeah, closing brackets. Yeah.
No, so you never spoke about anything at all. So when
No,
she said
I
that she's not
mean, in
feeling
initial stages, I kept asking what the issue. What did I do something wrong?
She didn't give you
She
any
didn't give any reason. Then there was just one time I saw her seated in a car before and then good dashboard. So and the leg was on the dashboard and I knew saying that was the reason.
after 7 years.
No, yes, after 7 years. So I mean, that's how I noticed that. Okay, I mean, probably there was just somebody else in the picture that she felt the person would eventually she got married to that person, and she's still married to that person. So I'm sure probably at the time she got somebody.
But you know what I think about these things.
Thank you.
You know what I think about these things? A lot of young people want to avoid this kind of pain, and I've also had my fair share of this pain. But I think that this process is school. It helps you get to know yourself. It helps you understand what you need, which is stronger than what you want. It helps you understand who will be good for you and who will not be good for you. So many young people hope that the person that they fall in love with the first will be the person that they marry. But many first-time loves, if they become marriages, will not survive. Because you've not really understood yourself. I mean, just across from the studio is my wife. I met her after many people have damaged me, broken my mind and my heart at the same time. But they prepared me to recognize who I needed. when I met her, I was so sure if I don't marry this guy, I'm going to regret him.
Hey.
Wow.
So all the broken hearts, all the relationships that fail, they help you find yourself. They help you understand what you're real. Because see, you can think that there are some things that are your values. There are some things that you badly want. But until they are tested, it's like an idea. Until it has been tested by real life, you are never really sure what your values really are. So as you go through this, you say that, oh, I thought I wanted an ambitious woman. I thought I wanted so and so woman. But having met Amma and Efia and Ya, I think that no, this is not what I need. I need humility. I need service. I need support. I need loyalty. So all of these things, you go through them to help you find really, really what you're looking for. So heartbreak, it's like entrepreneurship. Some business will not do well, but actually, it gives you wisdom. It helps you know what to do at your next level.
Right. That's more bars from him.
More bars all the time.
just to perhaps correct you, ambition, the opposite of ambition is not necessarily humility, like you may have said. I don't want people to misconstrue.
I wasn't just opposing the two.
I know, I'm sure that's not what you meant, certainly, but just an ambitious woman does not necessarily equal somebody who is not humble, if you will. So just to put that there. As for my own personal heartbreak, dear, I don't know which one shall I talk about? Both. Together combined.
Like together combined.
Intercontinental.
Buffet.
Continental. We go chop.
International. We go fly.
Thank you.
So, it happens, but it's like.
She know what's up. She
know what's up.
She gives some one like
just every now and then. My alter ego. You know, Beyonce has her. Was it Sasha Fierce? Yeah, mine is a Freak Safari.
Okay.
Oh,
wonderful.
But you speaking of heartbreaks, let me see. Let me take one from college. Out of the buffet, like you said.
Yeah, right. So this is a starter.
Yes,
right.
It is. So I dated I dated this Nigerian guy, right? I was in undergrad. I know, right? I know.
Let's listen now.
You can't come and judge me for my actions 22 years ago.
Look, I will get a story. We don't mind them.
Okay, you and all listeners, you can't judge me for my actions 22 years ago. I can see it in your eyes.
22 years ago, even Nigerian movie was not popular.
I don't know. This is why he said you like lessons. So he said listen, and I'm sharing with people.
Don't mind them. Please share with me.
So I had these two Ghanaian roommates, right? And of course we're all in uni. And he used to be too close to one of them. All the time, like you come visit, then you're asking where my roommate is. It's a little bit more, interested in her affairs than in mine. I thought it was a bit weird, but I was like, maybe I'm overthinking it. So we went through like a spell. I think it was maybe second semester of my third year going into final year. And he was like, oh, he's not really, sure about us. So I'm like, okay, I'll give you space. So I hadn't seen him in like maybe 2-3 weeks. Yeah, I think 3 weeks shy of a month. And one Sunday I said, okay, after church, I'll go see what he's up to. So as I was driving into his apartment complex, I know, right? Then he was also driving out, and I just looked, and my roommate was there, who hadn't been in the house the whole weekend because this was Sunday. Into Friday, no Dinitia Dumba. I was like, I'm not her mom, so we're all grown. Everybody's doing their own thing. Just to see them passing like this, they didn't see me. And I found out that they had been having an affair and all of that. So there no some things to just titty you in this one time. You just need that one.
Fan to work out, sitting down, using cutlass,
So we've all experienced heartbreak.
Was this roommate your friend?
We were roommates. I wouldn't say we were friends like that. Yeah, still to today, I think that's wrong because we're on a big university campus. So of all the people, Charlie, from the African Students Union, the Caribbean people were there, the white people, like all races. Didn't get anyone.
How long had he dated this guy?
3 years we dated.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
So when you,
But
that's
also
like
I
when
had
you
no
entered
business
first year
dating
now.
somebody 3 years in
One
uni.
night is just a
Yes.
game.
But,
So
so it was you started dating when you
second
just
semester of first year.
Usually it's to two and
you need one first heartbreak sort of real relationship, because the ones you have in secondary school, they come to your house, you go and see them off, they go and see you back off again. You know that scene of each other from
you
the
never
same
get
area.
home.
I know you never get home, right? It's those little things. These
And I
are all
think-
formative things,
Right.
right? And then perhaps when you enter college or university, then you may have your first real relationship. And I think it's you have to have those breaks to, in life to, shock absorb
shared our
yourself.
breakfast details. We all chop breakfast before.
But
Yeah.
every moment
You know chop breakfast?
Maintain simple.
Okay, I think the heartbreaker.
Heart now need be one.
How to me will be power, but in tomorrow. Never be able to be I have a podcast.
Okay, broken mind.
Okay, now for you, broken mind.
Broken mind.
I am say David said the man no mama be broken heart because Obi at me at them and me to that level that.
See.
Hey.
No
Okay,
one
so it's
has
actually
doesn't go
going
in deep.
to my next question.
Yes, you do.
Which is what relationship lesson can you say that you've learned? Relationship actually teaches you a lot. It's either you're being patient or not trust too much. What relationship lesson? Because we'll say they're being
No one there I know. Then I can give you.
Which one? Tell
Yeah,
us.
I can give you. Which is when entering into any relationship, present yourself as is. Yeah, I'll tell you why. Me, I am fire.
So that's
I am
for
fire.
ice.
I know I am fire. But my wife is ice.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I've been around plenty, intercontinental. My baby see her. But then when I met her, I knew that was my wife.
Last stop.
I met her in Max Mart. The next day I told her somewhere I know. Catch and say I'll marry her no. Or you didn't show me no be and say I bet me I a doctor. I catch and say me. Say hey, and I'm saying the doctor I here to say. Or see we don't have time. And I'm sure what time we back. But after all these years, and I have 2 daughters with a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old. They're actually here in the building.
You came with them?
Yes, I came with them from school because my wife's away, so I needed to bring them along. Everybody wonders how she's still married to me. Sometimes I wonder why she's still married to me, but because I'm a wild card. And,
You know.
I know why
and my life is a monetization of enjoyment. So I enjoy life. I get paid to enjoy life, and I do well in that regard. But then because of my line of work, I also happen to be surrounded by a lot of females.
Right.
And I'm very generous with my status post, and so we are birthday, we are say if you make post I'm man I'm say hey it's you who status, and I'm saying blocking me you input that who me status I'm posting in and everybody wonders why. And I'm saying me share me no, she met me as I am. Or next time me the BBC no I say me why na me name sort sir time we share me you start people told her say hey John Michael still decided to marry. And I remember when we were getting married, the sermon at the church, everybody remembers it till today. We had the late Reverend Kogani, he was a Methodist minister. He preached, was Bishop of Winneba at the time. He preached and he said, doctor, he grew up in America. And in America, when you are buying a car, they add a clause to it that says as is, which is if you buy the car and you go home and realize the brake doesn't apply well, you bought it as is. You can't return it and say you want your money. He said, doctor, I know my nephew. He has an eye for the women, and they have an eye back for him. But you saw all the men in this country and decided that he never won. Into doctor, we give him to you. And this was a sermon. But then it didn't change that I prioritized my wife, I prioritized my family, and they matter to me. They're relevant to me, and so I want to make an extra, like a conscious note to make sure they don't feel disrespected, they don't feel out of place, nothing. But because I am that way with them, I have been married all this time and I'm still married. A lot of the people who I know who have issues, I find met people, and because they really wanted to marry them, they altered parts of themselves in order to make them happy. But the thing about when you alter parts of yourself is you can't be consistent. And I'm a very consistent human being. However you know me is how everybody in my life knows me. And because of that, I don't change.
Like
and so you can't turn around and say, yeah, why now until he didn't used to be like that, because I have always been like this and I will always be like this. But once you understand that you know who you married and you know why you married them, and so you stick with it. If everybody presented to the people they are married to who they are at the point where they meet them, then those people would have the choice to make as to whether they can live with it or not. And so when they marry you, then it's for keeps. But when you present a different person, you can't be consistent at it. So eventually you will go back to your old ways, and at that point she will feel like you changed. And when you change, a woman interprets that as you don't love me like you used to. That is the beginning of the end.
But that's not
So that's associate prof.
Yeah,
I know, right? I know, right?
All right, anyone?
Right, I mean, for me, I think what that one bitter experience has rather made me is to not go into any relationship with expectations. I stopped going into any relationship, whether it's love relationship, whether it's business, whether it's work. I go in blank sheet and I form my impression as we move. And so I don't come in now and expecting that, oh, that's how women are supposed to be. Oh, my wife's supposed to be like this. No. What I get, I move with it. And that's how it's shaped me now. It's helped me in every aspect, especially in the work environment, because I don't allow people to tell me how other people are. I experience them for myself, and I form my impression for myself, and I find a nice way to accommodate them and see the best out of them. So I think that's what is done for me over time. Just no expectations. If you ask me what do you expect from me, I said nothing.
Yeah, I think that's a good stance, because the more you expect, the more disappointed you get in the end, because you're expecting the person should go this way, you get there and the person goes that way, and then there's too many heartbreaks, you know. So that's a great one.
Because I mean,
not expecting anything.
No disrespect to the woman here, but you understand that every day you wake up with a different person.
You say?
Every day you wake up with a different person.
Oh, are you sure?
Oh, it's
Yes,
different.
I'm bipolar.
Every day
What's that?
Like
how do we change?
You can wake up in the dream you had that night, like the whole day. You know, it's then if you are either you are talking too much or you are too quiet, or why are you speaking undertone, or why are you speaking mid-tone, like. Depending on which age who woke you up on that day. Well, say Gabriel are different. Michael are different.
Please, Sanya boy.
Like you said, then I'll catch him. You are confirming.
But I think men experience moods too. Men experience moods too. But
you are roaming.
If you are naked.
Anyway, we just have a couple of minutes to go. Now let's do some memories. You know, things that you remember back in your 20s that you wish probably you should have slowed down on. Like, you know, I did something, I wish I should have slowed down on that. I make this decision, I really think that I should have slowed down, not rush to do it. You know, if you have any memories at all in your 20s, like, at the last time I'm a nice club, I'm uncle for friends. They be able to speed it. You know, when you know, as I get the first road to speed it, you know, sometimes you should have slowed down a lot of things. And then it looks like, oh, now you're being tagged with these things. Way. Yeah, now that you're older. But you should have taken your time back then. Maybe then, I don't know which one. So everything, my choice, I should have slowed down.
The thing about that part of your question is, why should it matter that you are tagged with anything? Because I own all of the decisions I made growing up, the good and the bad. They all make up who I am now, who I am
sometimes
today.
Now we are grown and someone calls you, maybe you're a casapole, they don't like you, now
especially with your old school mates. There are people who have not grown past secondary school.
True.
And so whenever they see you, as far as they are concerned, you are the same person you were in secondary school, right? You can get angry about it, you can decide not to, but that is you. Your mates will always act like you are not where you are in life. And I think
there's a quote like that says, And some people in my life will not respect me, even if no matter what position I hold.
Yes.
Like even when you're a president,
Yes. I've had one guy come to my office.
Yes.
I was just walking in the hallway, and he saw me from afar. And when I was in secondary school, my nickname was Virus. When I was in the university, I had some dread, so I was calling Pese. Kujom Pese. And nobody knows that name. Now I'm walking in the hallway, and somebody and at that moment, I was to make a decision.
To turn around.
Next step, keep going straight, or let everybody know that it was you. And the man was screaming, and the security was like, hey, so I just stand. I said, hey, if you didn't work for. I said, Chairman, why? I said, you foolish boy.
But you need to own it. I mean, it is you. Ultimately, it is you. I don't have those regrets because I own them and I feel but then who I was then doesn't define who I am today.
No, exactly.
So it's not that deep.
And I think people also like to bring your past, particularly if it's a negative one.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a negative one, they try to bring it, and also when they see that you've gotten to a point, you've made progress, you
want to humble you.
Yes, yes, and I think it's to humble you in a certain way. But to answer your question, I think I'll piggyback it to the relationship one. I think many women rush into, oh, this is my person in your 20s and we're going to get married. You know, usually women are much further ahead in the relationship than, you know.
Yes.
He hasn't even acknowledged you as his girlfriend yet, but you in your head, you've
married,
named your children.
You
know what you wear on the wedding, you have your house all planned. So I think it's just better to wait on certain things, particularly relationships. Get to know yourself, get to establish yourself, you know, career-wise, personally, with your growth and development, all of those things, and then the right person will find you. I think for me, the right person found me at the right time. It wasn't necessarily my time or the time that I had planned or anticipated. It was the right time that you know, God had set up. So I think a lot of women try to rush into things. You know, I must be married before 30, do this. Like, don't place any timelines on it. And when society tries to pressurize you into, hey, now don't worry, hey, now, you know, or she's unhappy because she's not married. You know, people pass these comments at work, but really, let's just let a lot of it go.
I'm actually married to the man I met in my 20s.
Yeah, but those are
you guys
outliers.
Sometimes
that
come back.
Yeah.
You broke and came back.
Yeah. See, you had to grow, both of you, right, to come back. So it might work, some people, but then you face a lot, like the learning curve, he said, might be, you know, way taller, way higher, much more painful. If the growth jointly, so you might outgrow somebody, but you both have to grow together, particularly if you get you know, if you get into a relationship much younger and you do get married younger, you know, along the line.
I wish we could go on and talk about this particular one, Papa, and the relationship as love to say, but then we just have like 10 seconds to go away. So I want to use that to say thank you very much for coming through. Part 2 has been over there. If they rate
part 2 of part 2.
Yeah.
That's the time I came.
Yes.
Sharp.
So thank you so much. You're a really lovely guest, and I always would want to have you in the studio. Well, thank you for watching as well, and has been the Friends and Family Show live on Channel 1 TV. My name is Noyo Kwote. I'll catch you tomorrow either on Brunch in the City on 97.3 FM, and again on Channel 1 for the Friends and Family Show. Enjoy the rest of your day. Mwah.